Recording in progress.
Recording.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so recording's on. I ask that you keep your videos off. And the reason is because this goes on YouTube, if your videos are off, it doesn't show who participated in the call. If you have your video on, your name might appear and you might not want that. So just keep your video off and that would be great. So someone else is having the issue. So my sound is good. Okay, so I'm getting actually a mix. Some people are saying it to everyone. Some people are saying direct messages that the sound is good. Okay, so when we get to the part where we get into the healing and the music's on and I'm sharing it, we'll go back to the chat and see if everyone's listening to it correctly. I haven't done anything differently from this end, so I'm wondering what it is. It's recording fine, so I'm not sure exactly. Okay, so here we are, it's Tuesday, and sometimes I already know what I'm going to speak about, and then other times it just kind of comes very late in the day. And if anyone has any questions, the chat box is always there, and I do try to monitor it while the call is going on. But if you have a question, feel free to put it in there. And I always kind of go with what I'm feeling or what I'm hearing from people, what I'm hearing from clients. And I say, okay, what is a good topic to speak about? So the primary goal of this call is to have a healing session where we bring in this beautiful energy and we heal together. So group healings are very powerful, and how they work is we're all adding energy, and this energy is swirling around. Let's say, I know we're not here together physically, but when you're dealing with energy work, we're dealing with the quantum field, so we're not dealing with time or space. Might be a little bit confusing to hear or understand, but the neat thing is you don't have to understand it. Just be open-minded to say, hey, I'm going to get a healing today. And how we can heal at the physical, emotional, mental level. Whatever is ready to be released can be released. And everyone's getting their own individual healing, which is quite beautiful. So it doesn't have to be, that person on the call is being affected by my healing. No, but what we are all doing together is combining our energy to get a very powerful healing. As we also do this, we're sending out this beautiful energy to everyone and just the entire world. And that's what I usually picture as this is happening. I picture this beautiful light just encompassing the entire world. And you know what? It is magical, it is beautiful, and it is powerful. And we can't force someone to accept a healing, but that energy can be made available to anyone who wants to take it. So it's like sending a prayer. You can send a prayer to someone. It's doing them good. They don't even have to know about it. So we're sending out positive energy, and if there's somebody who's going to be receiving it, they can. But when you're on this call, you want to get into the receiving mode, because a lot of us know how to give, but not everyone knows how to receive. So how do you receive? Well, you just go into a state of receiving. Just use some simple words. I give permission to heal. I'm allowing the healing. I may not understand it, but I'm open to it. And that's really simple. Just allow it. And then relax. Don't try to fight it. Because some people will say they're feeling something. They're feeling a warmth. They're feeling something weaving through. They're feeling tingling. And that sometimes scares people, and they want to resist it. Well, think of it, this energy that's coming through is love, it's light, it loves you unconditionally, it knows what you need to let go. So just allow it to do its work and say, I trust and know it's all in my benefit. And just really just let go and let that energy do the work. All right, so I think that kind of gives a bit of an introduction of why we're here. And there's many different topics that are kind of playing out there. And interestingly, I was going to talk about forgiveness, because forgiveness is always a big one. And when I'm dealing with clients, I'm dealing with even things that are happening in my life, I think sometimes, why did that happen? Or why did this person do this? Or why did I do that back in the day? So there's forgiveness for others, and there's forgiveness for yourself. And if you're holding on to anger or resentment to somebody or an event or anything like that, or even towards yourself, it's stopping you from your own growth. So we want to get into a state of forgiveness. Now, I have spoken about this before. I've actually had a whole seminar on it. I believe it was a paid call I did a while ago. If anyone's interested in learning about forgiveness, I can go through a bunch of tips and tricks on how I work through things. A lot of affirmations and a lot of energy work can be done to release and help forgive. Let me know, and I can always put on another call for that. But I think today what I wanted to talk about, and this is another thing I hear from a lot of people, is they're mad at a spouse or a significant other, or a spouse has said, oh, I can't say that to my wife or husband, they're going to get mad, or I could never talk about that to my house or my spouse, or if I ever even ask that, I might get in trouble. And then I think, how are people having children with people they love, but they can't have a conversation, an open conversation about their feelings? And sometimes it's about control. So there might be a wife who wants to control the husband's behavior, or the husband who wants to control the wife's behavior, or maybe they're both controlling each other's behavior. But when you have that level of uncommunication where you can't talk or be who you truly are, what kind of relationship is that? And you're slowly going to start to drift apart, because I'm going to keep a secret because it's going to upset my spouse because they're not accepting me for who I am. For instance, I'm a person who loves to talk to people. I'll talk to anybody. If I'm in the grocery store, male, female, old, young, I love talking to people. Now, if I had a spouse that didn't enjoy me talking to someone, they might feel a little jealous. I would maybe stop for that person, but then I'm not being who I am. And if that's going to kind of shut down this beautiful part of me because I'm pleasing someone, it's stopping of my authentic self. And that's just going to shut me down. And then if I still want to do it, let's say, and still talk to people, I may start to hide it from that person. So it's very interesting when I hear people, or I see people getting very angry because so and so my husband said this, or my wife did this, or I can't talk about that. You don't want to change anyone. You want to accept them in all of their greatness and all of the things that aren't so great, because we all have our ups and downs. I always say, what do I have to offer? I have great things about me, and I have some not so great things about me, but this is who I am. I am always trying to self-improve. I will do my best to change where it needs to be appropriate, but I'm not changing my authentic self. I'm just breaking patterns of behavior that are not serving me. So if I tell my spouse or my partner, I need you to change for me, well, that person might change. Usually it's really easy to change at the beginning of a relationship when we're all on our best behavior. So when we're dating someone, like everyone's on best behavior. We're really good. We're following the rules. We're doing what we need to do. And then things get serious and like, okay, I can relax. And then we're like, well, this isn't who I was dating. Who are you? And then we try to change that person. But when you change, then the person starts to pretend. And then if the person's pretending, well, really they're lying. They're lying to themselves. They're lying to you. And then the lying becomes cheating. And when I say becomes cheating, I'm not saying like cheating on you with another person. It's just cheating, meaning I am not being faithful to who I am, and I'm now not being faithful to what who I am to you. And this whole relationship isn't even really based on authentic relations. I'm hiding what I'm doing. And the reason I bring this up, there have been many relationships in my life, and not just with the spouse. I could be the best friend, the best student, the best, mom, the best everything, because I could feel what people wanted from me. So I would just adapt, and I would be this person for this person and this person for this person. And it wasn't until I really started to work on my self-love and self-respect, which is still ongoing, obviously. It's kind of a forever thing. But this is who I am. Take it or leave it. yes, I have some good qualities, and yes, I have some quirky things, and yes, I have some frustrating things, and I am always trying to do better, but I'm going to communicate on what I am doing. I'm going to be the best version of me, but accept me for who I am. And some people might say, oh, well, you're flirty or you're this or you're that. I just like talking to people. I love talking to people. And yes, I smile at people. And if it's taken the wrong way, so be it. That's who I am. If I can't smile and I'm told I'm not allowed to smile because it's not good, then what that's going to do is it's going to dim that light inside of me that loves that feeling, that loves chatting and connecting with people. So it's just interesting. I've had a lot of people recently say that, oh my gosh, if I ever told my wife this, she'd be mad, but you're telling me. Why can't you tell the woman you love that this is what you want or this is how you feel? So it's very interesting. This office hears a lot, and I never repeat it. This office is very confidential, but people let their guard down. And some people will say, this is the safest place for me to talk. And sometimes it's not just with a spouse. Sometimes it's about being a boss at work. It's a lot of pressure with managers or presidents of companies or CEOs that will sit here and break down and say, this is the only place that I can let my guard down and say, I too am fearful. I too don't know what's going to happen with our company. I too worry about my employees, but I have to put it all together. I have to be this tough person in front of everybody. My family doesn't even know I have these feelings of insecurity. I have to hide it. And this is the place where I can let my guard down and just be my authentic self. And I think, isn't that, that vulnerability is not being vulnerable because I'm not going to take advantage of the person. That openness, it's so beautiful. But wouldn't it be beautiful if that person could be open like that and have those beautiful conversations with the person they love and say, you know what? I'm at work all day. I have to be on my game. I just want to come home and be who I truly am and know whatever I tell you, I'm safe in telling you and that you're going to love me. Whether it's something as simple as, listen, I just need a hug because, I'm not feeling my best, to, hey, you know what? I was talking to somebody and that person made me feel so good. Not that there was, I'm going to say, cheating going on, but just talking to someone else felt good. Now, someone might be upset. Well, why did you have to talk to that person and not me? Well, maybe I wasn't open enough to hear what that person wanted to say, or they didn't want to be that open because they didn't know how the spouse was going to respond. So it's not just relationships with spouses, although that's kind of come up a lot lately. And sometimes it's being in that high position at work and the stress that everyone's feeling. And those people, those bosses of yours and ours, and you know what, we sometimes they look stressed and sometimes they're not so nice, but they have their own issues as well. So we all are people. We all have emotions. We all have fears. We all have worries. We all have concerns. So that superhuman person that's in your life that you love, sit down and ask them, how are you really feeling? I would love to know what's in that head of yours, what's in that heart of yours. Are you leading your most authentic life? Is there something that you want to do and you don't want to tell me? Like sometimes it's just they want to go on a crazy vacation. Usually, let's say most people go to beach vacation, beach. That's just kind of the routine. Let's go on beach with the family. Maybe this person wants to take the family on a crazy cool adventure to Costa Rica, go ziplining, something totally out. But even something that simple, which would not be maybe acceptable to the family, is something they want to talk about. But they're like, oh no, that's just too wild and crazy. Or maybe they want to go even something a little more out there. Just think of actually at this point, just make a mental note. If you are in a relationship, what are you not telling your spouse, the person that you love, that your desire is? whatever it is, think about it and think, okay, do I feel safe to tell this person? Do I want to tell them? I'm not saying, hey, everyone, tonight go home and tell your spouse something wild and crazy, because it may throw that person up for a loop. But what I'm trying to convey here is having an open, honest, accepting relationship where you can tell your fears, tell your wants, your desires. It's fun, actually. It's a lot of fun where you have that person where you can just talk unlimitless about what you would love to do or what you see or what you want to experience. It's a lot of fun knowing that person's not going to judge you. Say, hey, you know what? Maybe we can try that. Or you know what? Our kids are growing up, so maybe it's our turn to do those fun things together. Life is meant to be fun. And yes, it's also meant to have its ups and downs as we grow. And sometimes these opportunities that come don't always feel so good. Like I can't imagine, you look at some couples and they're just living. I mean, I know so many people that are sharing a house, but living in separate bedrooms or separate beds. Now, this is the man of your dreams, the man you fell in love with, the man you had children with. And you're sleeping in. Why? Reconnect. Because that reconnection, and it might be we can't reconnect. Well, then why not try to fix it in any way? Maybe get some counseling and learn to talk to each other. Because that relationship that has maybe become stale or distant might reconnect into something so beautiful. It also might that as you're talking might realize we've changed so much, we're not meant to be together anymore. And yes, that can be hurtful, but that also is a part of growth and change. Change is scary, but change is also so beautiful. I continuously am changing, I'm growing, and there are so many things that make me uncomfortable. And I take my deep breaths, I do the work, and I know even if I'm walking blindly into something, I go with that feeling in my heart. Your higher self is always talking to you. When you're doing something right, you'll feel it if you listen. Just listen to your higher self. If you ignore your higher self and just continue to do things that are not making sense, your higher self might stop talking to you. You're not listening. But if you've forgotten how to listen or you're not listening, reconnect to you. Take some quiet time and say, okay, higher self, I've been in my own la la land, doing my own thing. My life's a little bit chaotic right now. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to me. Guide me. I'm going to do my very best to listen. How does your higher self talk to you? Now, at the beginning, I was very numb. I didn't listen. I was making all the mistakes. How did my higher self get my attention? I remember it very clearly. I was very sick at the time. I was very depressed. I was very sad. And how I didn't even remember I had a higher self. I was so disconnected. 911, that number kept popping up everywhere. It was because one day I said, I need some serious help. What am I doing? And I just was talking to myself saying, where am I doing? And I didn't know the next step. I forgot to talk to my higher self. I was so disconnected. My higher self heard me ask for help. And then 911. And I would see it on license plate, on digital things, everywhere. At first, it scared me. 911, what does that mean? I'm going to die? And I was sick. So I thought maybe this is a possibility. I'm leaving. So after seeing 911 for several days, I decided to look it up. And I looked up 911 with fear in my heart. But when I looked it up, it was such a beautiful message. It said, this is an urgent message from your spirit guides to wake the heck up. It was this urgent. And I'm just like, what does this mean? But based on me asking, what does this mean? What does it mean to wake up? The next message came. So I started hearing my higher self in a way I could understand through numbers. And what I did is I decided, okay, talk to me in numbers. I'll look at the number combinations through this website. So then I knew they were going to give me the answers according to what was written in this website. And that's how I started my communication again. after that, I started to hear things in synchronicities. And actually, a lot of people would come and tell me a message. I'm like, okay, how did that person know to say that? Because they were guided to say that. So we can hear messages from our higher self at the beginning through songs, through people's words. Sometimes you could be on a train, two people are talking beside you, but whatever they're saying is exactly what's happening in your life. And one person's giving that person advice. Well, in a way, they're giving you that advice too, although you're kind of outside of the conversation. So it's those little things your higher self will bring to you at that time that you can understand. In my case, it was numbers, and then it was songs, and then this lady. I remember. I should have wrote all this down, but I just remembered. As I was waking up, I was on the GO train going to work, and some lady came up to me and she handed me a book. It was Conversations with God from Donald Walsh, I think. Actually, I think it's still on my bookshelf. And she said, "Here, I feel inspired to give you this." And I'm like, "Oh, why, thank you." And I read it. And I was hooked, and I read his entire series. And it just, explained how we're at one point maybe separated, but we're coming back to unity. And as you start to reconnect with you, things will start falling into place. And that was kind of my awakening. And there was one thing that led to another, because when you say, yes, I want to know who I am. Yes, I want to lead the best possible life. Yes, I'm willing to do the work on me. Yes, I'm willing to grow my self-love and self-respect. Your guides, your higher self, they have your back, and they will give you your next step and your next step and your next step. And I know I joke around with people and say my journey's been very long. And you know what? It has. And I'm not ashamed of it. I just had a lot to release. And you know what? I am in such a beautiful place right now, but the lessons still keep coming. And some days, the little self of me is just like, I've had enough. No, 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 no. But the higher self says, yes, 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 because that is where my growth is coming from. So I just take a deep breath. And at the end of the day, when I'm laying in bed, I try to recap in the day. What did I do that was good? What did I do in the day that wasn't so good? What were the synchronicities that happened? What were my blessings that happened today? I'm going to call them mini miracles, because sometimes I just say, I need more time to do this. Wouldn't it be nice if I could free up 2 hours? And then I get a call from someone saying, hey, I can't make that meeting for 2 hours because this came up. Can we reschedule? That's a mini miracle. That is the universe listening to what you need. So those things, I love going through those mini miracles, saying, yes, this happened today. And oh my goodness, I have this person who loves me, and I had fun doing this. And I smiled at someone and they smiled back, and I held the door for someone or they held the door for me. These little things are things that we can just look at as precious gifts from the universe, saying, I am so blessed to be in this life. And this life can be tough, yes, but it also can be very fun. But just where's your lens looking at? Is it looking at all the bad, or is it focusing on the good? So you want to take the lessons, take a deep breath, say, wow, that was difficult, but what did I learn from that today? And then don't take what happened today to the next day. Let it go. That was today's learning. Tomorrow's a new day. You thank the lessons of today. You take a deep breath and move forward fresh. And yes, things may follow us, obviously, but how you approach them the next day is fresh. So even if I say was in a situation and I didn't deal with it correctly today, I may look at it and say, okay, I got it. I did not do my best today, but tomorrow I'm going to be much better because I'm going to learn from my mistakes today. And when I go to bed, I usually say, I'm going to leave it to God and go to bed, because tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up to this beautiful breath in my lungs. Hopefully I'll wake up, and generally I have so far, but just waking up is a blessing. And then I make my day count as best as I can, because I try to be aware of my thoughts. I'm trying to stay present in the moment. It's very easy to escape into thoughts. So that presence, that awareness of what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about, what's happening around me. I'm learning to stay present more and more each day. And I'm not perfect. I'm doing my best. And some days I'm better than others. So I give myself a check mark and start the day fresh. So let's end this day with a beautiful blessing. We're all here together. Let's have a beautiful healing to let go of the resistance, let go of the hurt, let go of the patterns of belief that are no longer serving us. Let go of the negativity and interference, the negative thought patterns, all those things that keep us unpresent. And allow this beautiful energy to come through and give us a boost in anywhere we need it. Whether we need it in the physical, the mental, our thought process, just surrender and say, I am ready to feel better. I am ready to be the best version of me. And just enjoy the journey. So let's end this day on a very beautiful note. Thank you for participating, and we're going to get into the healing, my favorite part. I already feel the energy flowing. I love doing these calls, and I get a lot of great messages from people, and it warms my heart. But we're all in this together. I'm benefiting as much as you're benefiting because we're all doing this together. So thank you. And I drink a bit of water. I'm going to start the music. And what I would like to hear is, well, not hear, I would like to hear the truth, obviously. Do you have an issue hearing? So just give me a second. I don't know if it's the volume that has changed. I'm going to do my best here to get this going. And you might not be able to hear me talk when I share the music, but use the chat box to say, hey, I can hear it today, or hey, it's not so good. And I'll do my best to tweak it on this end. All right, hold on. Actually, I'm not hearing it at all right now. I'm not sure why. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to share the music now, and then please give me your feedback. I couldn't hear it at all, so now I might have made it too loud. So give me a minute. Okay. So write the chat box, let me know. Okay, so I'm getting, generally it's good. Okay, no sound. Okay, strange. We have some people not getting sound. Give me a sec, I'm gonna try something else. This is Angela, has no sound. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming back before we start. I'm getting mixed. Here. I'd say most people can hear it. I'm getting direct messages and not. And okay, now some. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna just share one more thing, and we're gonna begin. All right. The replay seems to have the music, so I'm not sure what's changed for some of you, and I apologize if you're not hearing the music. You're still getting the energy, so just based in the energy, you can play your own music if you need to. All right. At the end, I'll play the singing bowl, and we'll go from there. All right, everyone. Here we go. Now we're going to allow a breath. Just allow. Go into the receiving mode, and let's begin. The energy there was very intense today. It was almost hard to sit down during that one. Okay. Oh, all right. All right, everyone. We're going to end the call. If you have any questions, I'll stay on the chat and just watch it and monitor it. Other than that, that was beautiful. There's lots of receiving there, lots of giving there. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless at this point, as usual. I had a lot of tears in my eyes, but that was just like, it was just the love coming through. I could feel it. It was so intense. Oh, and I'm very hot. So drink lots of water. Be with the healing. Again, some of you will sleep peacefully. Some of you may be irritated. That's okay. That's just part of the healing process. Just drink water and just give permission for the healing to continue. Thank you so much for joining us. Us, yes, all of us. We all do this together. And I believe the next call is, yes, November 10th. So we'll see you on Tuesday, November 10th. And if you're interested in a forgiveness call, let me know and I'll put one on. It's really neat because forgiving yourself is so important, forgiving others. If you can't forgive, it's really hard to move forward. So everyone have a peaceful night. So nice to see everyone again. And we'll see you soon. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Sleep well. And thank you for all the kind messages. Always appreciated. Good night.